If gas rationing started tomorrow, most people wouldn't run out of gas first, they'd actually run out of food. Everyone thinks that rising gas prices or rationing gas just means that, oh, we're all just gonna drive less, or maybe we'll just all go invest in electric cars. But it actually affects so much more than that. In today's video, that's what we're gonna be diving into. Let's get started. Hey friend, Morgan here. So gas prices are going up. We're all feeling it. We once were able to fill up for like 40 bucks. Now it's 60. It's insane. And I remember the days where I was filling up my whole tank for $20, okay? I remember those days, all right? People are already feeling the pinch financially. And, the other day we were at the gas pumps and my husband just happened to be looking around and he was seeing the gas pumps for like $10, $20. Like it wasn't like a full fill up, but people are like, I can only afford $10, $20. And while we personally are feeling the pinch, us individuals are feeling the pinch, there's so much more that has to do with rising gas prices and potential gas shortages than just our own personal gas needs. So number one is deliveries to grocery stores. Remember how in the beginning I said that gas wasn't actually our biggest worry? It's having no food. Grocery stores only have about 3 days worth of food for that given community. And that's kind of an estimate, That's not even including people that coming in and out of town and that kind of thing. It's like, it's not including mass panic, or it's not including extra buys because of holiday times, okay? Grocery stores rely on constant deliveries, and less fuel could mean fewer deliveries and shelves don't get restocked as much. But not only that, the price of higher fuel will definitely seep down into the consumer. And this brings me to point number two. Basically, everything runs on fuel. Even companies like Amazon or these other companies that are trying to transition their fleets into electric vehicles and stuff, they're still using fuel in other ways, such as with, the 18-wheelers or whatever, right? Running their factories. It's still reliant on petrol in some way. So food supplies and even basic household items, those prices are going to be rising because of the rising prices of oil. And if there's any sort of rationing going on, come on, there's definitely going to be rising prices. This brings me to point three, but point three is kind of along the same lines of the economy sucks right now and everything is really, really expensive and gas is no exception. And if it ever comes to gas rationing, it's more like, well, people are going to be staying home more, which is a rising cost of electricity because they're using more. It's like, there's this, especially during heat and cold snaps, there could be power outages. There actually could be a number of things because there's more strain on the system that wasn't there before. So the grid being stressed could be a potential one. And that's not exactly like a major one that I'm super concerned about, but that could definitely be a problem. If there is gas shortages or the increase of prices of gas, like there is now, that again could trickle down into everyday services, which is like trash pickup, deliveries and maintenance, even response times, like medical response times, EMT, that kind of thing, could be affected greatly. And so, like I said, even though like Amazon and some places are trying to change their fleets to electric, that doesn't mean that all of them are electric. And that also means that like Amazon also has like personal drivers with their own gas and things like that. So I don't know how those people are even making it in this time, because like Uber drivers, like how are you even making any profit? Because gas is so expensive right now. I think the biggest thing is if there's gas rationing or gas gets so expensive that people literally cannot afford it to get to work, to get to the grocery store. We live in an area in which we are super lucky to be able to bike or walk to the local grocery store or to any other, to our work or these other places if we really needed to, if gas was just outrageously expensive or rationed, right? And so for us, it's kind of not a big deal, but I can think of many, many, many people in which this will be an extremely difficult situation if they could not get access to the grocery store. They can't walk, they can't bike, and they need access from a vehicle or because of distance or because of disability or whatever the case may be. This isn't a case of, oh, I'm just not going to go driving because it's rationed or expensive. No, this is actually starting to affect your personal life and most importantly, your food. So the question isn't really like, do I have enough gas and should I be storing more gas? No, the question is, Can your home run without needing gas, right? So let's talk about a few ways. This is where the magic happens, everybody. Okay. So first of all, I know a lot of people talk about gas generators and diesel generators. And I'm super happy for you guys, but storing gas and diesel can be a challenge, especially since gas runs only for, or not runs, but it only lasts about 6 months, and that's with a stabilizer. Diesel can last a little bit longer, but you still have to live in an area or a space in which you can store enough gas to run that generator for however long, right? I love solar and batteries and that kind of thing because it relies on the sun. Yes, the batteries have like a 10-year shelf life, something like that, but I feel like that's a little bit longer than gas that lasts, 6 months, but well, what do I know? I'm not very good at math. So I do actually highly recommend looking into some sort of solar battery backup generator. Battery backup that takes solar can be charged via that way because there are lots of really large battery banks or even investing in like a whole home solar system to where you maybe don't have to rely on a gas generator for, blackouts or for emergencies or just, like you don't have to rely on the power grid anymore because you have a whole house set up and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. We've been there. We were there for a couple years. We loved it. We loved being off grid. Okay, so anyway, the next one is just stop running your tank until empty. When it comes to gas in general, it's a good idea to keep your gas above half, and that's for safety purposes in case you ever need to bug out, right? But it's also more efficient that way in general. Like if you look at some studies, they say that if you run it to all the way to the end, it actually is less efficient than if you just keep filling it up from half. And it kind of is, cheaper maybe, instead of spending 40 each time you fill up, you can be spending 20. Maybe it's a little bit more often because you're only going to need a half. And just like with anything else, build a small food buffer, okay? You should have at least 30 days worth of food and water in your home. Just aim for starting at 72 hours and then 2 weeks and then to 30 days. I have some stuff coming up on my website that is going to help you actually plan and take action with building up your supply. So I hope that you're ready. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter at preparedness.com. And so because I have the announcement there first and then I'll announce it here and everywhere else, but the newsletter people will get that announcement first. And I think it's really exciting. I'm really excited. You guys don't need more advice and more stuff. You guys need strategy. You guys need an actual building block, an actual system to get you from point A to point B. And I think because there's so much overload of information out there, everybody's just like, well, I don't know what to do because everybody's saying something different. Well, I'm going to take you from point A to point Z and we're going to figure this out, an actual system. So that's what I got planned for you. So I hope you stick around. Subscribe, like, and join my newsletter. The next one is have a no driving plan, or if you can carpool or ride your bike or have an electric bike. Those are getting really popular now. Just try like a no driving plan if you can. Take the bus. I know there's more electric buses coming. If you have a train system, do that. How much food you have in your home. Could you cook at your home? And that's the next tip, is cooking more from home. Not only is eating out crazy expensive, okay, but getting there, right? You need the gas to get to that place to eat out, right? And then there's, the food that you're consuming, and then you got to get back. Like it actually is a big expense if you think about it. So, yeah, if fuel is tight, if anything is tight, if money is tight, drop the eating out and make more from scratch from home. I would definitely have alternative cooking options and make sure that you are cooking more from scratch and learning how to cook. So this whole video, it's not about like buying a whole bunch of random gear, right? Like I've only said to buy some food and water. Other than that, it's having these systems in place. Oh, well, and invest in a solar battery backup generator. I did say that because I truly think that that's a really good investment. But it's about making sure that you have food and water and that your daily life is taken care of, whether there's gas, rationing, and whatever else is chaotic is going on out there. And you don't have to be out in the chaos, right? Like with gas rationing, I could see that the lines would be huge and it would be wildly expensive. If there's gas rationing, oh my gosh, it's almost $4 a gallon here. I can imagine it would be wildly expensive with gas rationing. So this is like a worst case scenario. But even if there's not, let's forget about gas rationing for a minute. Let's just think about the rising gas prices everywhere. These are good tips just to have in general. I am seriously considering getting an electric bike and like some sort of like, maybe an electric bike for my 2 kids too, right? Or just riding our bikes around. I guess I don't need an electric bike. Don't wait until something bad happens, my friend. I want you to be prepared. Situations like this, they don't give like a ton of warning. So I just want you to be prepared and have that little bit of stuff. You don't need a bunker. You don't need land. Just take a breath. Okay. I want you to take these actionable steps that I've listed in this video and take action today, right now. Just go get a little bit of extra food and water. Invest in a battery backup. Okay, go join my newsletter. I'll see y'all later. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I'll see you later. Bye.